Hello friends, welcome. I'm going to start a new mini-series about Laravel and ReactJS, and we are going to create the authentication using the Breeze package from the Laravel. So if we go to the documentation, and we have starter kits here in the getting started, and we have the Laravel Breeze, Breeze with Blade, Breeze with React and Vue using the Inertia.js, and also we have an example with Breeze and Next.js here. Also, you can find the GitHub repository for the Next.js project, but I'm going to use this one, so the Breeze API, and use the React.js as a front end. Okay, so first I'm going to open the terminal and create the Laravel project, and let's cd in the sites directory. I'm going to zoom it like this, and I'm going to say Laravel new, and let's name it Laravel React API, like this. Okay. Next, we need to install this package and create also the database. So first we need to run the composer require laravel/breeze --dev. So let's copy that. Let's navigate first in the Laravel-React-API, and let's paste that command in, hit enter, and next we need to install the API version. So as you can see here, we have with Vue and React, but this is using Inertia. In our case, I'm going to use plain React, so I'm going to use the API and create the front end with ReactJS. So let's paste that in, PHP artisan breeze :install API. Hit enter. Okay, now we are okay, that's clear. And if I open this project, so Laravel-React-API, I have installed the Laravel Valet, so we can open Laravel React-API.test like this. Yeah, here we have the project, and because we installed the Breeze API, we just see the string Laravel and the version. Okay, now let's open this project with a VS Code. So I'm going to say code dot. Let's open the .env file, and here we have the app URL, which is the localhost. We are going to use localhost because we are going to use the Breeze API, and the Breeze API is going to use the Sanctum session-based authentication, not token, but session. So for that, we need to have both the backend and also the front end in the same domain. So in this case, we have localhost. Okay. For the database, we have this name created by default with Laravel. So let's copy this and let's open the table plus. I use this one, and let's create that database. So let's say new, click OK. And now let's run the artisan migrate. Come here and refresh. Yeah, we have the users here. Okay, friends, so that's it about this video, the intro, and we created the backend project. In the next video, we are going to create the front end, the React project, and start and work with the React to create the authentication. So see you in the next one. All the best. Hello friends, welcome. Now in this video we are going to create the front-end project, so the React, and I'm going to use VJS for that. So if you go to the vjs.dev, here we have a supported template presets for we can create with VJS. We have the plain vanilla JavaScript, Vue, React, Preact, Lead, and Svelte. In our case we need React, so scroll down and we can create the project with npm yarn or pnpm by saying for npm create with add latest, and then choose the template, or we can directly say npm create with latest, the name of the project -- template, and specify the template. This is for npm 6. Or if we have 7 plus npm, we need to say npm create with latest, the name of the project -- and also the -- template, and specify the preset. I have npm 7 plus, so I'm going to use this command. I'm going to copy that, and let's navigate in my terminal. I am inside the sites directory. Here I want to create the project, so I'm going to paste that in, and not sites but this one. Just now let's change the name of the project, and I'm going to name it React Breeze API, and the template is going to be React. Hit enter. Okay, you can see how fast it is with VJS. Now let's cd in the project, and let's say npm install, and then npm run dev. Okay, now if I visit this URL in the browser, so let's come here, and yeah, we have the project and we have a simple count here, as you can see. Okay, now I want to install the React router, the Axios, and also the Tailwind CSS in our project. We're going to need the router, also the Axios to send requests, and the Tailwind CSS for styles. So if you go to the reactrouter.com, let's say npm install React router DOM, and you can read the documentation of the React router. But I suppose you have knowledge of the React, so just let's navigate in here. I'm going to terminate and paste that command, npm install react-router-dom. Then let's navigate in the Axios, and to install we need to say npm install Axios. Okay, paste that in. The last one is to install the Tailwind CSS, so let's tailwindcss.com, get started, and we need to choose the framework with Vite and using React. We have created the project, just install the Tailwind CSS. So let's paste that in. Okay, then npx Tailwind CSS init. Okay, then we need to add inside the content in the Tailwind config these 2 lines here. So let's copy, and we need to open the project with VS Code. So I'm going to say code dot, and let's go to the Tailwind config, and inside the content paste that line. Then we have to add in the index.css the Tailwind base components and utilities. So in the VS Code, inside the source directory, we have this index .css. I'm going to select and remove all from here and just paste the Tailwind base components and utilities here. Save, close. And we are okay. Now just run the npm run dev and apply the styles. So let's run here npm run dev. Okay, now if we come here and see, yeah, we have different styles here. Okay. Now that's it about this video to set up the project, and then we need so first I'm going to remove the app CSS, the assets we don't need here. In the app JSX also I'm going to remove the app CSS and all the imports. In here, so just say remove everything. Class name is going to be max with 6xl mx auto, and here I'm going to add h1 welcome, and let's save. Let's see, yeah, and this is in the left here because I have zoomed it. So as you can see, if I zoom out, yeah, this is here because we say max with 6xl, so the Tailwind CSS is here. So that's it about this video, friends. I hope you enjoy and see you in the next one. All the best. Hello friends, welcome. In this video I'm going to create the components for the login and register, and one component also for the home. I'm going to create the links, add a navigation here, and also add routes. So when you navigate to the /login, display the login component, the /register, display the register component, and so on. Also, I have opened my repository for view authentication Breeze API because I want to copy the HTML code from here. Okay, so first let's open the VS Code, and inside the main.jsx I'm going to import here the browser router from the React router DOM, and I'm going to wrap this. So let's cut and say browser router, and inside paste that app. Okay, close this, and now let's go in the app.jsx, and here, as I said, I'm going to add a navigation and create the routes. I'm going to remove this welcome, and I'm going to add a navigation. For that, let's go here, and in the source components, I think, yeah, we have nav.view. I need to import this, to cut this one, navigation here. We need to make changes, but okay. So let's cut this and let's paste it here. Now we have here a nav with class, and select all classes and change the class name. Just this one is already class name, so I'm going to set it back. Then I'm going to remove this, we don't need. This is just for the Laraveler. Okay, then we have a button, and we don't need the button, we don't need. Also, I'm going to remove this, and we have UL, and instead of router link we need the React router link. So I'm going to say link, and I think we are going to import from the React router DOM. As you can see here, hit enter. Just close that, and this is going to go to the we don't need to bind here. Let's say slash for the home, and here we have template v, but I'm going to remove this. Also this one, remove this template, and this one for the logout. Now let's copy this one, this link, duplicate, and say the link to the login, and let's say here login, and one more for the register. So link to register, and let's say register here. And if I save now, and let's navigate in the browser, come here, as you can see, we have home, login, and register. And this is because we have here the max width 7XL, but I'm going to move or just remove this class from here. Maybe I'm going to add the BG to say slate 100. And yeah, now we have something like this: home, login, and register. Okay. Right now, if I click login, yeah, we navigate to the /login, but we don't see nothing because we don't have components and so on. So let's go inside the source directory and create a new directory here, and I'm going to name it components, and inside the components create a new file. First I'm going to create the home.jsx and create a React arrow function component with export. I like this one, so you can also create a function component and what you like. So let's save, close, and inside here also create the login component, login.jsx, React arrow function export component, and one more for the register. So register.jsx, React arrow function with export component. Okay, let's close this, and inside the app.js now I'm going to, after the navigation, I'm going to add a div with the class name to be max width 7XL now, mx auto, and margin top of 12 or 6 maybe, like this. And inside I'm going to add the routes. So I'm going to say routes, and we are going to import this from the React router DOM, as you can see here. Hit enter, and yeah, we have imported that. And inside the routes we are going to add one by one the route we need. So we need the route for the login, for the home, and for the register. So I'm going to say route, and also this one we are going to import from the React router DOM. Hit enter. This is going to go to the path of slash for the home, and we need to add the element, which is going to be the home component, but we need to import. I think we can import. No, let's import here the home component. So import home home like this from slash components slash home, and then import the login from /components/login, and the last one is to import the register from components/register. Okay, now let's create that route. So a route with path to be / for this one, and add the element which is going to be the home component. And let's close this, copy paste, change the path to be /login, and when we navigate there we need to add the element login component. And the last one is for the register, so let's say register here and a register component in here. If I save, navigate here, as you can see we are in the /login and we have login here. Just bg slate and say min h screen, save, and yeah, navigate to the register. We are in the register, home. Okay, now in this one also I'm going to copy the form. So let's go to the login and select this section and copy that. Navigate now in the login. Instead of just returning this div with login, we are going to return that section. We need to make some changes first. So select all classes here and we need to add class name. Okay, so class name. Then this is a form with submitter. Let's remove. We have input type email, vModel remove also this vIf, and the error, I'm just going to add error here, and margin bottom of 4, not 6. I'm going to say 4 also here. Type password, vModel remove, also remove here, and the error, just say error like this, and we have a button to say login. Then we have a router link, but here we need to use the link from the React Router DOM. So let's say link, and we need to import that from the React Router DOM. Okay. And this one. And here we say forgot password. Let's leave it. And here just add link like this. If I save and let's open the project, and if I go now to the login, yeah, we have a form with email and the password, and also we have error here. Now if I click to this thing, sign up, we navigate to the register, and let's do the same thing here. And instead of going and copy from the view project, I'm going to just copy the login and add 2 more fields here. So I'm going to copy this section, go to the register and paste it here. So let's refresh. Yeah, we need to import the link. And we don't need the React here, just link. And yeah, we have the form, but we need the form for the register, so we need the name and also the password confirmation. And here say register, So we have the form with the first input, and I'm going to copy this one and duplicate. And to this first one, I'm going to say type text. Placeholder is going to be name. Okay. Then the last one, the next one is for the password. So let's copy this and paste down there. Type password, placeholder, password confirmation. I think we are okay. Then instead of login, we need to say register, and let's save. And as you can see, here's a form for the register, name, email, password, and password confirmation, and also the register. Okay friends, that's it about this video. We just create the navigation, create the routes and components. So go to the home, login, and register. I hope you enjoy, and see you in the next one when we are going to try to make the logic for the login. All the best friends, and don't forget, if you like the video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. Hello friends, welcome. In this video we are going to work with the logic to log in the user. So first I'm going to open the backend project and make some changes there. Also create a user with a seeder and then work with the front end. So let's open my iTerm, and I am inside the backend project, so Laravel React API. Let's open this with VS Code. And the first thing, if you go to the database, seeders here, I have uncommented this one. So app model user, factory create, test user, and with email testexample.com. So we are going to create a testexample.com user. And for that, let me just run here PHP artisan migrate fresh -- seed. Okay. Then we need to go inside the .env file, and here we need to change the front-end URL port. Here we have 3000, but with Vite we have the 5173 port, so let's change this. And also we need to add the Sanctum stateful domains to be localhost 5173 and the session domain to be localhost. So now for the backend we are okay. I'm going to close this also, and let's run the PHP artisan serve. Okay, now I'm going to open a new port and navigate in the React Breeze API. So first cd in the sites directory, and then cd in the React-Breeze-API. And I'm going to open this with a VS Code here. And yeah, okay. Now the first thing, let's open the login, because we are going to use the login. And also I'm going to run here npm run dev, and let's open the project in the browser. So I'm going to copy this, open the browser and paste that in. And also let's open the localhost 8000 for the backend. Yeah. Inspect element, go to the application, cookies. Okay, here we have the cookies, and let me just zoom for you. I'm going to zoom also this one, and we are okay. Let's go to the login, and yeah, Now let's make the logic for the login. So in here, first I'm going to import the use state, and in here let's check if we can auto import. So I'm going to create a constant and say an array destruct for email and set email is going to be equal with the use state. Yeah, and we have imported the use state here. We don't need to import the React, so let's remove that. Use state, and initially is going to be an empty string. Also, let's create the constant for the password. So let's say password and set password, which is going to be equal with use state and initially an empty string. Then in the form here, we are going to say type email, and I'm going to add the value, which is going to be email, and on change event, I'm going to say add the event and call the set email event.target.value. Okay, and now let's do the same for the password. So here we have the password. Let's add the value, which is going to be password, and now the on change event, which is going to be an event anonymous function, and set password and add here the event.target.value, not but value. Okay, now on the form, when you click the button, I'm going to say here on submit, let's call the handle login. I'm going to create an handle login method. So let's come up here and create this method. I'm going to copy and create a constant and say handle login, which is going to be equal with and it's going to be an async function. Here we receive the event, and the first thing I'm going to call event.prevent default. So we are not going to reload because we are in the front in the single page application. We don't need to reload the browser. And now let's use the Axios. We have installed the Axios in the first project, I think, in the first video. Yeah, here we have Axios. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a new file, or let's create a new folder here. I'm going to name it API, and in this folder, new file, I'm going to name it axios.js, and here I'm going to import the Axios and add base URL and also with credentials to be true. So let's say import Axios from Axios, and let's export default Axios dot create, and here add an object with base URL, which is going to be the backend URL. So this one, I'm going to copy this and paste it here, just remove the slash, and also with credentials to be true. And now we are going to use this access. We are going to import the access from that file. So let's come here and let's say import Axios, but not from Axios here, but from the file we created in here. So we need to go up and /API/Axios. Okay, now let's make the logic, send the post request to the /login with the email and the password. And I'm going to use try and catch to catch also the errors. So I'm going to say try and then catch any error if we have error like this. Okay, now in the try, I'm going to say, because we have an async function, I'm going to say here, and let me close this, await and Axios dot post /login, because the base URL is the backend, so we added the base URL here, localhost 8000, and now we need to just add the /login here, and then an object with the email and the password we have here. And if we have, for example, in the backend some other name, we need to add it here. So for example, user email in the backend, if we have something like this, we need to add something like this here. So this is going to be for the backend, and this is for the variable we have. But because in the backend we have the same, I'm going to remove that. Okay, then if everything is okay, I'm going to return to the home page. So for that we need to use the navigate, and let's import that from the React Router DOM. So I'm going to say use navigate, and let's define that, use that navigate here. So I'm going to create a constant and say navigate is going to be equal with the use navigate. And then if everything is okay, first I'm going to set the email again to an empty string, also set the password to an empty string, and then navigate to the /homepage. If we have any error, for now I'm going to say just console.log the error. Okay, and let's see in the backend, in the browser now. As you can see here, we have the Laravel session. I'm going to clear and refresh. In the front end, let's inspect also here. Go to the application and let's refresh also here. Okay, let's add, and we have the test example.com, and the password is password, and I'm going to zoom it out. Okay, let's go to the console and see if everything is okay. Click login, and we see here Axios error, request file with the status code 419 to post to the login. Okay, now let's go again to the application, and here clear this Laravel session. Come here and clear again, and let's refresh. Come here and let's refresh. So we have the CSRF token here, as you can see, and test again now. Let's say test example.com and add the password, and let's say login. And now we redirected back to the home page, as you can see. And if we see the network, we have a login method post with 204, no content. That is returning from the backend, no content. So everything works okay. Go to the console, yeah. So we have a success login. And if we go to the login also, we have an empty email and the password. Okay friends, so that's it about this video. So if you have again the error with the CSRF token, make sure you, when we refresh in the front end, we have in the cookies the CSRF token and also the Laravel session. So first go in the backend and clear here and say refresh, and then go in the front end, clear and refresh. And when you get that, as you can see, maybe sometimes, yeah, now we have. And when you have in the front end the CSRF token and the Laravel session, then you are okay. So for this video, we are okay. We have a success login, and see you in the next one. All the best. Thank you very much. Hello friends, welcome. In this video I'm going to work with the logic for the registration. So in the previous video we worked with the login, and now let's work with the register. And of course also we need to work with the errors, but not in this video. In this video I'm going to work with the logic, the register. So if we are here and right now nothing happened, let's open the VS Code, and inside the source directory, components, in the register, first we are going to do the similar we have done with a login. So we need to create a constant for the email, password, and also here we have the name and the password confirmation, and then create a method for the handle the registration, and so on. So first let's create a constant, and first is going to be the name, and also set name, and initially, so use state first, import from React, and initially an empty string. Then create a constant for the email, and also set email, which is going to be equal with use state and initially an empty string. Create a constant for the password now, and set password equal with use state, initially empty string also. And now the last one is for the password confirmation. So let's say password underscore confirmation, or you can change this, for example, and when we send the request, add the password confirmation. But I'm going to type like this because in the backend Laravel is going to confirm this name. So then let's say set password confirmation, which is going to be equal with use state and initially an empty string. Okay, now let's go down there, and here we have the input for the name, type text, and add the value, which is going to be name. And also we need to add the on change event, which is going to be equal with event, and say set name to be event.target.value, like this. And let's do the same for the other inputs. So here we have the email, first add the value to be email, and then the on change event, which is going to be the same. So add an event, and call set email event.target.value. A value like this. Now for the password and the password confirmation. So here are the value for password, and on change event it's going to be equal an event set password event dot target dot value, and the last one is the password confirmation in here. So value is going to be password confirmation, and on change event is going to be equal with event and call the set password confirmation event dot target dot value. Okay, now on the form, on submit of this form, we are going to call the handle register method. So we need to create that register. Let's copy, come up here and create a constant with that name, which is going to equal with an async function. It's going to receive the event, and first we are going to call the event dot prevent default, and then the same thing, we need to import also Axios from from API Axios. So let's copy and paste it here, and then send a request to the /register. We are going to use try catch, so try and then catch for any error. And for now we are just going to do something like this. I'm going to copy and paste and also console log the error for now. So Axios post register now, register, and we need to add the email, password, the name, and the password confirmation. So let's say name, email, password, and password confirmation, and then call the set email, set password, an empty string, also set password confirmation to an empty string, and the last one set name to an empty string. Also we need to define this navigate here, so import the link and the use navigate from the React router DOM. We need to define that, and I'm going to define it here. So create a constant and say navigate is going to be equal with use navigate, and then if everything is okay, we navigate to the home page. I'm going to save, and let's run again the artisan migrate fresh, so we don't have any user. Yeah, we are in the front end. Sorry for that, we are in the front end. Let's open the back end. I'm going to open the terminal iterm here. Let's zoom it and let's cd in the sites directory and cd in the Laravel React API, and here I'm going to say artisan migrate fresh,
Okay, now if I open the table plus and let's see the Laravel API inside the users, we don't have any user. Okay, clear this up and let's open. And if I try to log in here, so inspect the elements just to see if we have the CSRF token, and we don't have, so let's clear this. Here is the backend, so I'm going to clear, refresh, and now if I refresh, we have the CSRF token. And if I type test example.com and add the password, we don't have the user, so we are going to have an error. Say login, and as you can see, we have an error here. Go to the console, and yeah, we have 422. Request failed. Okay. Response data. These credentials do not match. Good. I'm going to clear this and let's go and log in now. Register, sorry. Here we have the CSRF token, and let's say test and test example.com. You can add also another user, just I'm going to say test example.com and add the password. And let's say register. And as you can see, we redirected back to the home page. And if I open the table plus and refresh, we have a user here with name testexample.com, password, and so on. And now if I clear this, refresh, also let's clear this up. And let's go and log in without user, so test example.com and add the password. Let's say login. Yeah, we redirected back and we don't have any error. Okay, so now we have the login and register working with our React and the backend Laravel Breeze API. I hope you enjoy, friends, and see you in the next video. All the best. Hello friends, welcome. In this video I'm going to work with the errors. So if you go to the login or to the register, we have error like this, but I'm going to show the error if we get the error from the API, from the response. And also I told you in the previous video to make sure we have the CSRF token. We need to go to the application and see if inside the cookies we have this CSRF token. But now I'm going to make an API first to get that CSRF token and then make an API to login or register, so we don't need to go and check for that. So let's open the VS Code and work. Inside the components, let's start with a login. And first I'm going to work with errors. So I'm going to create a constant and say errors, and also set errors is going to be equal with a use state, and initially is going to be an empty array. Okay, and then here when we check for the error, instead of console log, I'm going to check if, because right now, so let's go back and say console log, save. Let's go to the login, inspect element, go to the network, and now if I send the login, yeah, we have a status 422, and the response is a message, the email field is required. Also we have errors, which has the email and say the email is required, and also the password field is required. So I'm going to check for these errors if we have any errors, and then display the specific error for the email up here and for the password down here. So let's go in the VS Code and check if the error dot response dot status. So we are going to check for the status, and if that is triple for choo-choo, I'm going to say set errors. So this errors here, which is an empty array right now, and I'm going to set that to the error dot response dot data dot errors, like this. So we inspect element again just to show you in the network, and if I say login in the status here we have the errors. So I'm going to say error response data errors, like this. Okay, and now down there, when we have the input, after the input we have this flags and display the error with text thread 400, and I'm going to show that conditionally. If we have the error for the email, display that, otherwise I'm not going to show. And in the React we can do like this. So I'm going to say errors dot email if we have, and say and I'm going to display this div, otherwise it's not going to show that. So if we have errors for the email, it's going to display this one. And here as a error, I'm going to display the errors dot email and the first error in the array. Okay, so first check if we have that and display the first one. And let's do the same thing for the password. So up here I'm going to say errors dot password, and if we have that, say add and close that. And also in here we need to display the errors dot password and the first one in the array, like this. Hit save, and let's see in the browser. As you can see, we have the email field is required and the password field is required. So let's refresh. Nothing. If I click, the email field is required and the password field is required. Now if I say test example.com and the password and say login, we redirected to the home. Everything okay. Let's go and log out by going to application and clear the cookie here. Now, as I said, so if I try and log in, let's say test example.com and add the password. Right now we have error, as you can see here. Let's go to the console, and we have an error for 19, which is the CSRF token mismatch. And let's work with that also in the VS Code up here. And here I'm going to create a constant, and I'm going to say CSRF, which is going to be equal with an anonymous function, and say axios dot get and specify the URL, which is /sanctum/ CSRF token cookie, CSRF dash cookie, like this. And now here first I'm going to get the CSRF cookie and then try and catch. So let's call that So I'm going to say await because we have an async function here. Await CSRF like this. And now if I save like this and refresh, let's inspect the element. Just we have the CSRF token here. I'm going to clear this. And if I type text example.com and add the password, so we don't have here the CSRF cookie, but if I click, let's go to the network and let's say login, we redirected back, and you can see here first we make a request of the CSRF cookie and we have 204. So we get the cookie first, then we make a login request and we have a success login. The same thing with the register. So let's copy this one and let's go inside the register.jsx and create that and call here the CSRF await CSRF method and then try and catch. Also, we are going to do the same for the errors, so let's create a constant for the errors and let's just copy this one in here. And now go to the form, we have this for the name, paste that in, this is going to be for the name, so let's select and say name. Okay, this is for the email, so just paste that here, and this is for the password, and select the email and say password, and the last one is for the password confirmation. We don't have errors, so just let's save as it is right now and let's close this. Navigate in the browser, let's go to the register and we have the error here for the last one. Just remove it. Okay, now let's say test 1 and I'm going to say like this, add a password and let's say register, and we don't see any error. And why is that? The server responds with a status 404. Let's try again. Yeah, we are logged in, so we need to log out. Sorry for that. Let's go to the network, and if I say register, now we have 422. And why we don't show the error? So the error, the password must be at least 8 characters. And I think we have added the error for the errors for the password. Yeah, we need to, sorry friends, we just need to add here also the same we have in the login. We check if the response status is 422 and set errors instead of just console log. Okay, and now if I refresh, clear this, and let's say register, yeah, we have all the errors, and let's add test, and let's say test here and add the password 124, so we don't have a valid email and we don't have a valid password, and let's say register. Yeah, this is not the email, and let's open the VS Code, go to the register, and here input. We have a type email here, as you can see, so we need to add an email, and let's say test.com, but the password is not valid password, and let's add register. Yeah, the password must be at least 8 characters, and let's add the valid password. And let's say register. Yeah, we are redirected to the home page. Okay friends, that's it about this video, how to show the errors, get the CSRF token in the login and in the register page. I hope you enjoy and see you in the next one. All the best friends. Hello friends, welcome. In this video I'm going to work with Logout, and also I want to display here the username or the user email, because right now if I go to the login and let's log in, let's say test example.com and add the password, we are in the /login here, and if I click login now, oh yeah, sorry for that, we need to say test here. And yeah, we redirected to the home page, but we don't see if we are logged in or not. So also I want to hide the login and register if we are authenticated. Okay, so for that I'm going to create a context, and when we log in, get the user details and assign with a user variable. So let's open the VS Code. I'm going to open the files here, and inside the source directory I'm going to create a new directory, and I'm going to name it context. And inside here I'm going to create a new file, and I'm going to name Auth context like this .jsx, and we need to add the .jsx because we are going to return here the JSX, and because we have with.js, if we return JSX we need to have the JSX extension. Okay, the first thing here, I'm going to import from the React, so let's say import the create context. Also I'm going to import the use context and the use state. Okay, then also I'm going to import Axios. Import Axios, but not from Axios, but from the API Axios. So we need to go up /API/Axios like this. Okay, and let's also import the use navigate. Import the use navigate from the React router DOM, and I'm going to create now the context. I'm going to say const, and I'm going to name it auth context. It's going to be equal with the create context, and I'm going to add an empty object here. Then I'm going to export the provider, export const, not provider, just I'm going to add auth provider, auth provider, and here we receive the props, and we need to destruct the children. So we are going to wrap all the components, and the components are wrapped is going to be children. Okay, then here I'm going to create a constant for the user. So let's say const array user and set user is going to be equal with the use state, and initially I'm going to assign with a null. So I'm going to check if that is null. I'm going to show the login and register if it's not null, or for example, if we have a user, hide the login and register, and if not, we show that. Okay, so we create the constant for the user. Now what I'm going to do, if I open because to get the user here, we need to make an API call, so we import the Axios, and also we need to get the cookie. So here, as you can see, we make a Axios get CSRF cookie, and I'm going to copy this and paste it here. And then I'm going to get the user. So I'm going to say const get user, and this is going to be an async function, and I'm going to say const and distract the data. It's going to come from the await axios dot get, and we need to make an API to the /API/user to get the user. Okay, and then I'm going to assign that user with this data. So I'm going to say set user with the data we have here. Okay, one more thing. So if we log in, when we log in, I want also to log in and then get the user and then return to the home page. Okay, so for that, I'm going to move the logic we have here for the handle login in the auth context, and also move the logic for the register in here, and also create a logout in this context, and then just import from the auth context all the logic. So let's create the logic for the login. Here we made I want to cut this and come here, and let's create now a constant and say login, which is going to be equal with an async function, but here we need to receive the data, and I'm going to say, we can say, for example, we need the email and the password like this, and let's say now first we need to await the CSRF token. Okay, we need to remove from here now, and also remove this one, and await the CSRF token, because now we have that CSRF here. And let me just do something like this. And then also we need to have the errors, but let me just add for now that, paste that in, remove this set password and set email. We need to have that navigate, we imported here, so let's define a constant, say navigate, it's going to be equal with use navigate. Okay, then we need also to have the set errors, and we can add the set errors in here. So when we call in that login, we can receive here the set errors, but I'm going to also, let's cut this from here and move that error in here, and then we can get the errors from the auth context in the login, and also the same in the register. So now we have the set errors here, and we say set errors, the error response data, and I think we are okay. Let's do the same thing for the register, which is going to be the same. We just create a constant, and let's just copy this and paste down there, change this to be register, but now we need the name. So let's go to the register, and yeah, we need the name, email, password, and password confirmation, and we can add here all of them, or we can just say, for example, data, and then add the data here. And the same we can use for the login. So we can say spread operator for the data and use that data here. Okay. But here we need not the post at the login, but /register. We add the data, we say navigate. Okay, and if we have the error, we set the error. I think we are okay now. Navigate, and as I said, when we log in, I want also to call that if everything is okay, I want to call the get user. So let's call this get user, which is going to get the users and set the user to that data, and the same thing when we register. So if everything is okay, get the user and then navigate to the /homepage. Okay, I think we are okay right now, and let's return now the provider. So down there, here we have the register, we have the login, the get user, and now I want to return the provider. So let's return auth context dot provider, and we need to add the value, and inside the value we need to add an object with all the data we want to expose, we want to use in other components. And that's it: the user, the errors, and the get user, the login, and also the register. Okay, and now I'm going to close here, and inside we need to add the children like this. So here we return the auth context provider, we add the value for user, errors, get user, login, and register. And now I'm going to export this auth context, and I'm going to say export as a default, and add a function, create a function. I'm going to name it use auth context, and here and why we have this? Yeah, because we are inside the provider, so we don't close that. Let's close that provider. Okay, and now let's export default and create a function, and I'm going to name use auth context. Okay, and return here use context and add the auth context here. Okay, save. Then with that, now we need to go first inside the main.js here and import that provider we created. So in here we say export const auth provider. We need to import that and wrap all the components we want to have the data with this provider. So in the main.js X, I want to import that provider, import the auth provider from /context /auth context, and we need to say JSX here, and I'm going to wrap this up with that. So let's cut and let's say auth provider and paste that in. Save. Let's close this. Okay, and now here in the login that we can remove the actions. We don't need the actions here. Also, we don't need this use navigate, as you can see. And on the, we need to import that context, so we can say import the use auth context from context /auth context, and then in the login let's define constant, and we want to destruct. So what we need here in the login, let's come here, we need the login method, and that's it, and the errors. Okay, so we need the login and the errors. So let's say here destruct the login and the errors from the use auth context. And then on here we say event prevent default, and after that I'm going to add login method, and inside the login method we need, here we receive the data, which are the email and the password. So let's say here email and password, not like this, sorry for the cut, parentheses, and then the email and the password. And also we have the errors if we have any. Now let's save this and let's go on the home.jsx. Here we have imported the React, but we don't need. I'm going to import let's import the use effect from React, and also import the use auth context. And in here now I'm going to destruct the user. So when we go to the home, I want to display here the username. So let's say const user, and also I want the get user. So maybe we don't have the user, I want to call that get user, and this is going to come from the use auth context. Now let's call the use effect hook, and this is going to call on the when this is going to render. And here I'm going to say if we have the user, because if we are coming from the login, when we log in here, we also call the get user. So we have the user there, so we don't need to make again that call. And I'm going to check here. If we don't have the user, then I'm going to call the get user method. Otherwise, we don't do that. Okay, and now let's say here, let's display the user dot name. Now the login is okay, I think, and the home.js is okay. Let's try and see that. As you can see, we have test here, but I want to log out, and let's inspect the element right now and just clear the cookie, and let's clear the cookie also here. And we are going to implement the logout also, but for now, just let's do something like this. And if I refresh, yeah, we don't see that. But if I go to the login and let's log in again with test example.com and add the password, and let's say login, we redirected back and we have now the test user. Let's inspect the element. Let's go to the network and yeah, let's see now. If we go to the login and let's go now to the home. Yeah, as you can see, we don't make a request to get the user because we have the user. And if we logged out, then we make a, so if I go to the login and then let's go to the home now. We make a request to the user, but we have 401 unauthorized. We are unauthorized for that, to get the user, because we need to log in here. And we can protect this route just if we are not logged in, go to the login page. But for now, I just created the context and add the logic here. The same we need to do for the register, because right now the register is the same we had before. So I'm going to remove this CSRF and also this one, and the navigate, the errors, also the Axios, and the use navigate from here. And we need to import the context, and let's get, so what we need for here, we need the register and the errors, the same we have here. Here we have the login, but just let's copy this and paste it here. Instead of login, we need the register, and we call that register here. And we need to add the name, the email, the password, and password confirmation. Let's save and let's see now if it's going to work. So let's open. We don't have the user. Let's go and register. And I'm going to say john.com. Add the password. So I'm going to say just 4 characters to see if we have the validation. Say register, and yeah. Oh, we have the name field is required, the email field is required, and the password field is required. And why? Yeah, sorry for that. We need to add in the curly braces and save and refresh and say now johndoe.com and add the password just to see for the errors. And if I say register, yeah, now we have only the password. And now type the password, the correct one. And let's say register, and we redirected back and we have the user John here. Okay friends, that's it about this video. Hello friends, welcome. In this video I'm going to work with Logout, because right now if we log in, for example here, let's log in with johndoe.com and let's add the password. Okay, we redirected and we have here John. Now I want to hide the login and register because we are authenticated, and show the logout button. And when we click, we can log out, and to log out we need to destroy the cookie here. So if I destroy that and refresh, we are not logged in, so we make a request to get the user, but we have 401. Okay, and also one more thing, if I go and log in, and let's open the inspect element, go to the network, and let's say johndoe.com and add the password. As you can see, we make 3 times to get the user, and that's it. Because let's open the VS Code. Inside the auth context, I forget to await the get user, so we need to await get user here, and also on the register await get user. And with that, now if I save and let's log out, so refresh, we are not logged in. Let's go to the network and let's go to the login. I'm going to clear here and let's say test or johndoe.com and add the password. Hit enter, and now we make only one request to get the user, because we wait for to get the user here, and we have the user assigned. Okay, now let's work with that logic, the logout, and let's me open here with VS Code the backend. And inside the routes we have this auth.php, which is for the authentication routes, and we have here the logout. We need to make a post request to the logout, and this controller have the store and the destroy, and it's going to say auth guard web logout. It's going to invalidate the session, and it's going to regenerate the token and return response no content. Okay, so back here and run artisan serve. Okay, now in the auth context, let's create one method to logout. In here I'm going to say const logout. It's going to be an async function, not async, just like this. And what we need the post access post to the /logout. So axios dot post the /logout, And then we need to set the user to null, so we can say then set user to null. Okay, let's save and let's use now this logout in here. I'm going to save that and close. And this one we need to use in the app.jsx. Here, let's import first like this, copy and paste it here. And then what we want from the use of contact is the user and the logout here. So I'm going to say const object user and logout, which is going to be people with use auth context. And now down there we have a navigation, we have a link for the home, but the link for the login and for the register I'm going to show only if the user is not authenticated. So I'm going to cut this. And let's say if we have a user, we are going to show the login, the logout, then we are going to show these two links. So if we have a user, let's copy this one. And instead of something like this, we just paste that one that the login is not going to be, this is not going to be a link, it's going to be a button. So let's say a button. Okay, we don't need this one, and this is going to be a logout. Just now, let's see if everything works. So if we have a user, we show this link, otherwise we show the login and register. So go back and oh yeah, file to import, because we just copy and paste from the login, but here we are in the source directory. So we need to say just like this. And now, as you can see, we have logout. Okay. We have logout and we need to use that logout. So I'm going to scroll down here. When we have a button, I'm going to say on click of this button, we need to call that logout. Add a pointer to that logout. If I click now, yeah, we are logged out and we have login and register. And here we are in the home. Let's refresh. As you can see, we have 401. We don't have the user. Let's go and log in with john.com, add the password, log in, and we are in the home and we have home and the logout. Okay, friends. And if you go here to the application, in the cookie, when we log out, you can see here is going to update. So let's say logout, and yeah, the values for the Laravel session and CSRF token is changed. That's it about this video. I hope you enjoy, and if you like, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like the video, and see you in the next one. All the best. Thank you very much. Hello friends, welcome. In this video I'm going to create two layouts, the guest layout and the auth layout. In the guest layout I'm going to add the login and register. I'm going to remove the navigation and show the navigation only in the auth layout. In the auth layout I'm going to add the home and I'm going to protect, so if we are not logged in we cannot navigate to the home page. Right now we are logged in, but if I log out and go to the home, we can, if we are not logged in, we can navigate directly to the login. Okay, so let's open the VS Code, and first what I'm going to do, I'm going to create inside the source directory a new directory, and I'm going to name it pages. And inside here I'm going to move the home, login and register. So inside here, okay, now we have all the pages here. I'm going to create also a new directory, name it layouts. We can create them in the components at here and create two layouts. So the auth layout and also one more for the guest layout. Let's add the React arrow function with export and the same here. Okay. Now in the auth layout we need to check if we are authenticated. So for that we need to get the user from the context from here. Let's do that. Let's come here and let's import the use auth context, and we are going to get from there. So let's say const get the user from the auth use auth context, and also we need the outlet. So here I'm going to say if we have the user, return the outlet from React and make sure you import up here. Otherwise I'm going to navigate and also import the navigate from the React router DOM to the login. So slash login, and let's close this. So if we have a user, add outlet, otherwise navigate to the login. Now this is for the auth layout. For the guest layout is the opposite of this one. So let's come here and let's close this. Let's import, let's copy from auth and paste it here because it's the same, just the opposite. And now instead of saying if we have the user, if we don't have the user, otherwise return to the home page. And let's save this. Let's go now inside the app.csx. Here we have imported only all from the home. We need from the pages, like this. Also we need to import the layout. So let's say import auth layout and also the guest layout. Let's close this navigation, and in here I'm going to protect this home for the auth. So let's cut and let's say route and add the element which is going to be the auth layout. Let's close this, and now I'm going to close like this and inside paste the home. And let's do the same thing for the login and register, but here we need to add the guest layout. So route with element which is going to be guest layout, self close, and now copy that and move it right here. Not copy, but cut. Okay, so save. So we add the home inside the Auth layout and the login and register inside the guest layout. Let's save and let's navigate in the browser and see. We are redirected to the login. If I click here, as you can see, we're redirected to the login. Now let's log in here. Let's say john.com, add the password, and we are on the home. But if I try to navigate to the /login, we redirected back to the login, and that's it, because we redirected and we lost the user in the context. But we have the user. If we go to the home and make a GET request, we have the user. So what we are going to do for that, I'm going to go to the home. In the pages, we have home here, and we make a GET user for. So what I'm going to remove from here, so cut, and also remove the user, the GET user, and the use effect. Let's save and let's go now inside the Auth context and move it here, that use effect, to get the user, and I'm going to say use effect just to import up here. And if I save, we are ready to the home, and let's navigate again to the /login, and yeah, because right now we call the get user in the Auth context and we have the user. Very good. But as I said, I want to, so let's log out and let's go to the home. Yeah, I want to remove this navigation from the guest layout. For that, I'm going to close this and let's go in the app.js. Here we have this navigation. I'm going to cut this one and move it. Also, as you can see, we need to import the logout and the user because we use them in the navigation. So let's cut this and let's go inside the Auth layout. Here I want to add, I'm going to add the navigation first, paste the navigation, and then also the outlet. Move it up here. And as I said, we need also to import the user and log out from the use Auth context. And we have the user, but also the logout. So let's import the logout here and remove also the use context. We need also the link. Let's save this and let's import also the link from the React router DOM. So link, and let's save and let's see now if, yeah, we don't see that navigation here. Okay, but as you can see, we have this white here, white space, because in the app.js we add the, I'm going to remove this class, this div here, and now, yeah, let's go and log in. Let's say john.com and add the password. Okay, John Doe. Yeah, and now, yeah, we have the navigation, but you can see right now we have here the name John, and that's it, because in the home we need to add In the home page, yeah, we have this div with user. Let's add a class name to be max width of 7XL MX auto and margin top of 12, let's say. And now we have the John here. Logout, we redirected here and we don't see the navigation, but yeah, we have the errors because we had last time. We need, when we register or login, we can say set errors to an empty array, and also in here, so set errors to an empty array. Okay, and let's join. So if we are not logged in and we are not user, we can go and sign up or go and sign in here. Let's go and sign in. Let's say john.com and add the password. And yeah, now we navigate here. Okay friends, that's it about this video. I hope you enjoy and see you in the next one. All the best. Thank you very much. Hello friends, welcome. In this video I'm going to work with forgot password. So right now if we say here forgot password, we navigate here but we don't see anything. So let's work with that. Let's first you need to create an account to the mytrap.io. I have created that, and then search, select here the Laravel, copy this code here, and we need to open the backend project. So let's stop this and let's open with a VS Code. And you need to go to the .env file and replace all the mail. So the mailer, host, port, username, password, and encryption with that data you copy and save. And that's it. Close this one and run now the artisan serve. And you are okay for the backend. Then let's start for the frontend. In the pages directory, I'm going to create a new file. I'm going to name it forgot password .jsx and create a React arrow function with export, save. Let's go inside the app.jsx and import that component, forgot password, and that is inside the guest layout. So here I'm going to add one more route with path / forgot - password, and the element is going to be that component we created. Forgot password, self-close, and also self-close this one. If I save and open the project, now we have here forgot password. Okay. But here we need to have the email, because we are going to send the email and the button. So let's go inside the login and let's copy what we have here and paste it on the return. And if I save, I think we have maybe an error. Got the console. Yeah, we don't have the handle login. Let's start and work with that first. Here we have the form, and instead of handle login, I'm going to say handle submit. We need the email. Okay, then the error. We don't need the password, so let's remove the password. Okay, we have the links here, but we don't need the links. And let's create this handle submit. But first, I'm going to create a constant for the email. So let's say const email and also set email is going to be equal with use state and initially an empty string. Then I'm going to create a constant for the errors. So errors and set errors, which is going to be equal with use state and initially an empty array. And also I'm going to create a constant for the status because it's going to return the status, and set status, which is going to be equal with use state, and here initially is going to be null. Like this. Okay. And now let's create that constant. So const handle submit, which is going to be an async function. And here we receive the event. And first we need to call the event prevent default, and then make the logic. So also we need to import that CSRF token. So let's remove this React we don't need, and let's come here and import the use Auth context, and then right here I'm going to create a constant and say object. What we need only the CSRF from the use Auth context, and not like this, but equal with. Okay, now let's go to this context and return also the CSRF here. So we have that now, and let's call that. We are going to say await CSRF like this. And first also I'm going to say set errors to be an empty array, and also set status to null. And then let's try and catch if we have any error. And the same thing we have done in the context when we have login or something like this. Let's copy this and paste it here. So if we have the error status 422, set the errors to the error response data errors. And here I'm going to create a constant and say response to be equal with await axios dot post, and make sure you import the axios from the API. Axios post slash forgot dash password, and we need to add here the email as an object like this. And then I'm going to say set status to the response dot data dot status, like this. And so here we have the BG white, and I'm going to add after this one a div, but this div is going to show only if we have status. And then say add a div with a class name to be BG green 700, margin 2 and padding 2, and I'm going to say also rounded, and text is going to be white, and in this one I'm going to display the status, because initially status is null. Okay, if I save and let's open, yeah, we don't see that status, and also here we don't have any email. But if I click and add the test example.com, say login, and yeah, we have emailed your password reset link here. And of course, if I click, we have that email here. So this is working, but just here, instead of just saying Laravel here, let's say something else. So for example, where is that? In here, I'm going to say forgot your password and let us know your email, and we will email your password reset link, or just, yeah, let us know your email address and we will send or email you a password reset link, like this. Yeah, I think now it's more okay. So if I refresh and test example.com, add the password, just say login, and yeah, we have emailed your password reset link. Okay, and here so we have the link, and if I click, we navigate to the password /-reset, not /-reset, and then we have a token, then we have an email, which is the email we typed here. Okay friends, that's it about this video. I hope you enjoy and see you in the next one. All the best. Hello friends, welcome. Now in this video let's work with the reset password, because right now we have the forgot password, but if I add the password, the email here, so test example.com and say login, here we need to change that to be submit or something else, and we get that link. If I navigate, yeah, we navigate to the password -reset, and we have here the token and also the email. So for that, first inside the pages, I'm going to, and of course if I open the backend project, so let's close this and let's open with a VS Code just to see inside the routes auth route. Here we have the reset password, and the middleware is guest. And let's open this controller which handles that. We need to send the token, the email, and the password and password confirmation. Let's run artisan serve again. And let's close now this. So we need to send the token, which we get here as a param, and also the email we get here, and the password and password confirmation. Now let's work with that in the front end, and let's open the VS Code inside the pages. I'm going to create a new one, or let's just save this as a reset password. Okay, let's save. Just instead of returning only the email, I want the password and the password confirmation, and I'm going to copy from the register. And here, when we have that input for the div for the email, I'm going to remove that and paste the password and password confirmation. Now we need to create the password and password confirmation state here. So instead of the, leave it the email and the errors and the status. And let's create also here the const for the password and set password, which is going to be equal with use state and initially an empty string. Also, let's create a constant for the password confirmation and set the password confirmation, which is going to be equal with use state initially an empty string. Okay, now we have imported the Axios, the use state. I'm going to import also the use effect here, and I'm going to import also something else from the React Router DOM. I'm going to import the use params and use search params from the React Router DOM, because I want to get the token and the email. Okay, so we get that, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to say here use effects, and this is going to run when this is going to render for the first time. So let's say here an empty array as dependencies, and I'm going to say set the email, and now we need to get that email from here. So we need to say set the email, and first let's create the const for the search params. So we need to define the search params up here, const, and in array I'm going to say search params equal with the use search params, and then down there on the set email I'm going to say search params dot get, and we need to get the email. And now if I just say console log console.log the email, and let's see if we get that email here. So inspect the element, go to the console. First we need to add the reset password in the route. So here let's import that. Import reset password, and here we need also to change this
So let's say reset password, import the reset password from pages / reset password, and we need to add inside the guest layout, let's say route with path to be / and password reset, what we have here. So password reset, and we need to add the token here and add the element which is going to be equal with the reset password. Self-close this and self-close this one. Save this and let's open the browser. Yeah, we have something like this, which you need to change this one, and we have password and password confirmation. Very good. Just that. Yeah, forgot your password. Instead of something like this, I'm going to say add your new password. Okay, add your new password, and as you can see, we have the email right here, testexample.com, which we added as a console log here. Very good. Now let's remove the console log, we don't need. So we set the email to the search param get. Also the token, we need to get the token from the use params. So I'm going to say here const, and I'm going to extract the token, which is going to be equal with use params, like this. And on handle submit, we first call the event prevent default, then await CSRF token, set errors to null, and set errors to empty array, and set status to null. Everything okay. Just instead of forgot password, we need to say reset password here and set response data dot status. Okay. Otherwise, we check for the errors. And I think we are okay now, but we need to add also the email, the token, the password, and the password confirmation, not only the email. So let's say email, let's say token, let's close this, and maybe I'm going to do something like this. So email, token, password, and password confirmation. So we are going to send back what we expect on the backend. So email, token, password, and password confirmation. So if I open again that backend, let's close this just to be sure for you. Yeah, we need the token, as you can see, the email, and the password and password confirmation. So that we are going to send, and let's try now. Add your new password. Let's close this because this is maybe expired. We don't have any. Let's go and refresh this one. Add a new password. Add the email. So email is testexample.com, and also we need to let's change this. So in the forgot password, we have login, but we don't need the login. We need to say submit. Okay, and let's see also the, oh yeah, we need to run artisan serve on the backend. On the front end, we have run, and let's say submit. Okay, we have emailed your password reset link, and let's go here. Say, let's close this one and let's reset the password. Add your new password, and I'm going to add 1 to 8. Let's see. And also we need to change that, but your password has been reset. Very good. And now if the password has been reset, I want to add a link to go to the login page. So in the reset password, first change that login to be reset password. And I'm going to add here when we have a status. Also, let's add a link to the /login, and let's say login. And I'm going to say here, let's cut this and add inside a div go to and paste that in. Go to login. Okay, maybe add some classes here. So class name to be margin top or margin 2 and padding 2. And let's try again for one more time. I think we are everything good. Yeah, we have your password has been reset, and go to the login, and we can log in with that new password. So test an example.com, and if I add password and say login, yeah, the credential does match. If I add 1 to 8, say login, yeah, we're redirected back to the home page. I think we are okay, friends. That's it about this video, and see you in the next one. All the best, friends. Thank you very much, and don't forget, if you like the video, and subscribe to my channel.